Two. Mic check. All right, let me see. What's good? What up, chat? What up, chat?
It's Dane Calloway.
Wait, turn that music down a little bit. Yeah.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet. He's here to make you think. The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
It's go time, Slim.
I will not be debating Dane Calloway.
It's Dane Calloway.
All right. It's late, right? But so what? We in here. We in this thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know. Hey. How y'all feeling, man? Hope y'all doing all right. Hope everybody's staying busy, staying blessed, staying prosperous, doing their thing out there in this cold world. Hope you staying focused on what you got to do. You know what the goal is. Don't let nobody stop you. You in this for you. Remember that. It's about you. What you gonna do? It's about you. What up, Tone? What up, Alicia? OCO. OCO Divinity. Iron OCO. Deuce Dizzle OCO. Ride OCO. Blue Dreamer OCO. GQ OCO. J OCO. French OCO. Studio 56 OCO. Seymour OCO. Courtney OCO. 8. T-Mac 13. Levante. 8. Amane. What up, y'all? What up, Denise? OCO, y'all. Osikachu. How are you? Y'all good? Roy, what up? What up, Lil C? Yeah. I need that type that get me hype. That's gonna get me in the mood for what I got to do. You know what I mean? And when I come through, let me just stop. Look, I appreciate y'all for being here. Let me round of applause for all of y'all. Thank you for coming out. I'm Dane Calloway, by the way. I'm not about to rap right here. Don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna do it. But I will later. I am gonna do something like that. Definitely gonna put music out. People been asking. I got you. I got you for sure. I am gonna do it. Now the one, what up? Savon OCO. Yes, sir. OCO Roy. Moda OCO. What's going on, y'all? Look. Woo! Man, I love that drop. That caught me off guard right there. Faith is all we need. Right after that. Mad love. That's great love. Niji Cypher, we should do that, Peter. We should do that. That would be nasty. Long as it's about all positivity. We shouldn't be talking about, killing each other. We should be talking about building each other. That's the type of time I'm on right now, man. I don't want to hear that nonsense that ain't really progressing us, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear that affirmation work. That work that's going to actually benefit us by stating it out there in chants. You know what I mean? That's the chance I'm trying to take. Yeah, this beat go. Let me stop that because we that may get used, but yeah,
It's up.
yeah, that may get used, you know what I'm saying? All right, so what we got, man? We got a couple things happening, y'all. Y'all know what's about to happen, right?
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
So I'm about to start coming out and, you know, doing shows, and
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
I'm talking about events. I definitely need y'all to pull up at these events.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
The reason why I'm saying that is because we're gonna be working pretty hard to, you know, put a lot of this stuff together, and we finally get a chance, you know, to meet. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
More than just taking pictures and meeting. I want us to be great. And we will be great. But I want to spread this message across the world. I'm not playing. And it's been happening. You know, that's why a lot of people are upset about it. They watching masters at work.
You are watching a master at work. A master at work.
You see what I'm saying?
Perfect.
I'm not playing. H-Town in the building. Yeah, it's a couple of things, but I want to make sure that you guys lock in, you know, we do this the right way. Join us inside of the 13% community server. You will be updated on all the addresses where everything will be located, you know, only if you're serious. Now, if you want to pop up and start hating, we got things for you too. We don't play that. You know, we're going to get you out of our sight quick.
Get out of my sight. Get out of my sight. Get out of my sight, you fuck.
And the only reason why I'm saying that is because it is going to be some haters, but we ready for that. I needed that water. Tonight. But before I say that, let me just say, join the 13% community server so you can stay updated on all that's happening this year and next year and the years to come. We got a lot of things going on now. Ben did. You know, it's just even bigger now. We're on a larger scale with this now. This is being talked about around the world. And we, you know, I'm a segue into the videos I'm getting ready to play, and then we're going to discuss about this, you know, tonight. I mean, all of it is correlating information. Like, even though I haven't been putting out documentaries in a while, I am going to get back to that here shortly. I could guarantee you that, guys. I missed that myself. I know a lot of you are missing that, you know, when I put out the information when I'm teaching documentary style. We going back to that. We're going back to that. I'm not going to say that I'm, you know, going to stop live streaming. I will be continuing the live stream, and I want to show you the new spot and all that. So the camera going to be on. But I definitely want to get back into the narrating, you know, the researching. It's just that part right there takes a lot of my time. And, you know, I had a lot of things going on. I needed to get situated, you know, and then I could get back and, you know, it's about to happen. We about to get situated shortly. Well, that's going to return on top of everything else I've been doing. But I mean, 10 years so far, you know, it's a lot of work that's out already. It's a lot of work that's out already. And people are learning. And you know what's crazy? They are basically just at the big, okay, let me not say it this way, but in my eyes, they are at the beginning stages of the information. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay. And what I mean by that is that they're now progressing into learning about their indigenous roots. There's nothing wrong with that. This is what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted people to start paying attention to their indigenous roots because it's about their indigenous heritage. It's about their indigenous roots. It's about what happened here in America to the American Indians. The wild Indians, the urban Indians, the Marie Indians, red Indians. Okay? Plains Indians. Yep. East Woodland Indians. You got to know about all of them. There's even Asian Indians. You got to know about all of them. So you can know the difference. Not everybody's the same. You know? For example, to go in this topic, why Africans are paid to lie to Black Americans about history, that's a deep topic. And I want to start this off with this young lady that's actually talking about this topic, this very topic, and then we're going to go into some other things and, you know, that's correlating. But I want you to pay attention to what's being said. Those of you that have been here for a while that know my videos, you probably forgot some of them. We over 600 videos, so it's even videos I forgot that I made. Like, you know, so don't feel bad because I'm the same way. But that's how I know, you know, it's a lot of things we need to go back over because it's so many things I forgot. You know what I mean? Like, I got to go back over my goddamn self. So that's going to be returned too. Like, we may even do that here in this live stream, depending on how late y'all want to be up with me. You know, we may even go back over some stuff because it's a lot of stuff, you know, it's a lot. But let's start. Let me start with this video at least. You can't hear me? Hold on, mic check. Yeah, we good, right? Everything good? OCO. We here, Blue? Y'all can hear me, Levante? Montana, where you at? Amani? We good, y'all? Y'all can hear me good? They ain't TikTok and YouTubers blowing up about us, Chinese and BBC News. Hold up, I didn't see that fast enough. You said Chinese and BBC News have us on mainstream. Yeah. Yeah. Look, even all the way down to Trump. Don't forget that. All the way down to Trump. And I was showing y'all that, you know, and even though, again, let me let y'all know, I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. Okay? I'm not for that stuff. But Trump made moves and I was showing y'all what he was doing. Okay? I was telling you, I was being upfront and being unbiased. And then, you know, parts that I didn't like, but it was a lot of parts that I did that worked in our favor. And it's not over with. This is all just beginning. And I was saying before he got in office that he would be the one that would be listening. If we come to him with a proposal, if we come to him, not even with a proposal, just anything, we come to him with anything, but as far as business is what I'm referring to is concerned, in that note, yeah, he's going to listen. He's going to lend the ear. We coming up with that business, whatever it is, agreement, legislation, understanding, treaty, whatever it is. Hey, look, y'all niggas get out our way. Let us have our own, whatever it is. Whatever it is. He lended the ear. And I told y'all, you know, I was showing y'all that we were in there by letting y'all know about the situation with Harriet Tubman. Y'all know how many people I pissed off with that? About Harriet Tubman's situation. I really do find that fascinating, how that triggered people. And I was like, that's crazy how y'all got triggered behind the fact that I'm telling y'all that she wasn't a real person. And then when I prove it, you be like, well, so what? Why take our heroes away? If the person wasn't real, how was that a hero? What are you talking about? You got to stop that. Like I didn't quote a lot of them say that. Okay, you proved that she's not real. So what? You taking our heroes away. I was like, what? This is how is that a hero? When he and she wasn't even real. This is some real people saying this too, okay? Yeah, and Nat Turner. I proved both of them. Was it real? Proved it. Not one time did you see anybody come out and try to debunk it with authentic records like how I did. Not just running my mouth. That's easy. I showed the proof and put it out in the book. And put it out in the book. I dared them to say something. Dared them. And we gonna play a video. I'm gonna come back to that, but let me play the other video first that I was just talking about. Let me like I said, we got some things we got to talk about, and then I want to pull some of my videos up because I know it's been so many of them that I didn't get a chance to expand on, you know. And I take accountability for that. My apologies. But let me switch to this video real quick here, y'all.
So hear me out.
Okay. All right, here we go.
So hear me out. What if Africa was just paid to say they're the motherland? Like, what if Africa was just paid to say that they sold us into slavery?
Stop. What if Africa was paid to say that they were the motherland? What if Africa was paid to say they sold us into slavery? Wait, let's just make sure that we heard her clearly.
So hear me out. What if Africa was just paid to say they're the motherland? Like, what if Africa was just paid to say that they sold us into slavery?
That's two very good questions. Two very good questions. I'm thankful that people are talking like this because you have to raise these type of questions. Remember, I told you. Hear me out on this. The quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask. I'm going to repeat that again. The quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask. These types of questions is going to trigger people who would take offense to not knowing the answer. Who would take offense to not knowing the answer. That's a part of indoctrination. They took your ability to critically think. So when you hear questions like this, you'll be offended. You're in your feelings. It's an emotional trigger. You're programmed that way. That doesn't mean it should be that way. You should be allowed to ask these types of questions. Okay? Whether if it shakes up your reality or not, these questions have never been answered. This is the reason why I'm here. Yes, I'm here to make you think. And questions like that. Yes, I agree. Miss Story, you're right. It's there to make you think. Critically think for yourself again. You have to challenge the narrative. That's what learning is about. Learning is not about learning their curriculum, and that's it. Learning is about knowing all curriculums. Then you can make your best judgment on what you know to be the truth or not. You can't know both stories by only hearing it from one side.
What if the reason why Africa hasn't really seen any peace is because they sold us out in that capacity? Remember, the war is spiritual, not physical. That means the attack is on our minds, not our bodies. Like, bro, what if everybody around us is in on the secret and we're the only ones that don't know? Like, what if
Right.
everybody's just been paid to shh? Like, bro, think about it. The out of Africa theory, right? It's basically this idea that evolution happened from monkeys all the way to white man, right? They think that like white man is like the level of like you've evolved, you've made it, and then there's nothing else to evolve to, because like once you've made it to whiteness, you've made it to God.
They made the whiteness the prestigious level, okay, inadvertently. They made it the prestigious level of thinking that you can achieve it, or the prestigious level of humanity, and thinking that you can achieve that. From monkey to white man. You somewhere in between. They made you believe in white supremacy. They made you believe that white is supremacy. White sugar, white rice, white salt, white candle. White piano keys. Black and white as color. White is light. Black is nothing. Black is darkness. Emptiness. When white is black and black is white. Both of them are the absence of color. Yes, you can say black absorbs the light or absorbs the color and light refracts it or retracts it. But the black that I'm referring to is spelled B-L-A-C without the K. B-L-A-C. And then it was W-I-G-H-T. This is the absence of color, the absence of light. Yes, pale. Yeah. Black is pale without light. But see, they made you believe that that's a skin tone. All of us are various shades of the color brown in skin tone. All of us are various shades of the color brown in skin tone. Where there's no such thing as white people. There's no such thing as black people. Not as far as a skin tone. Okay? See, this is all the more reason why you know that this has to deal with indoctrination. Because they're making you believe it's referring to a set group of people by way of their skin tone. See, when we say Black Americans, what are you referring to? Are you referring to their skin tone? Since we said that black is not your skin tone, then what does black mean? See how people need to think like that? That's called critical thinking. Some of y'all may feel as though that's not important, and I'm telling you, that's at the top. We have been locked into so many misnomers that they gave us. Black is not the only one. We have been renamed and reclassified and misclassified over and over and over and over and over and we just gonna continue to allow that. And the further they slap another label on us, the further away we were getting away from the truth when it came to looking it up by records and made things difficult for you to look up the records by saying, okay, well, these were black people, because the term black wasn't used for people during the time period that you need to be researching. The term black as an overall acceptance of a particular group of people by way of labeling just came about in the 1960s. Prior to that, we never agreed to be calling each other or be referring to our people as black. We never agreed to people referring to our people as black. Never. Prior to that. Black was derogatory prior to the 1960s. Derogatory. It was bad. It was malevolent. It was racist. That was an offensive term. And we turned that into something that we look as positive today. You got to understand why things are the way they are from the very root of the problem. Because you can't fix the problem without getting to the root of it. That's just like, God forbid, that you went through something inside of your household. There was let's just say there was your toilet stopped up, and then all of a sudden you plunged that, everything was straight. Your shower stopped up. You tried to plunge that, but something was wrong. You know there's a plumbing problem inside of that house. God forbid this happened to any of y'all, but I'm just saying as an example. You got to get to the very root of the problem to fix that plumbing problem. Otherwise, it could cause more problems, right? If you don't get to the very root of that problem and you just trying to put a patch over it or a Band-Aid over it, you keep Band-Aiding all these little problems that you would look as little, as will become a bigger problem. Those Band-Aids fall off over time. Look at it that way. Lady NG, thank you for the 5 gifted. Wait a minute. Is this real? Hold on. Man, I hope this ain't playing game. Oh no, this is real. Who is this? Oh no, this brother did this again. I remember this brother before. Shout out to Shut 'em Down DJs. Shut 'em Down DJs. He said, what they do, big fan. Lil Haiti 305 all day. Look, every day, all love. Hold on, y'all. He came in and dropped a major bomb in here, bruh. Shout out to Shut 'em Down DJs, yo. 305 in my yo, what's good?
It's up.
What's good, Miami? Man, matter of fact, hey, I hope are you in the 13%, brother? I hope you in the 13%. This, I believe, yeah, I can recall that this, you did this again, brother. That type of love right there, brother. Like, I'ma have to, like, yeah, like, we got a link. If you can't click that button right there, brother, I'm not sure if you tech savvy, or nothing like that. I'm not sure, but you kind of, certain people don't know how to navigate that Discord app like that, but we in a server. And you can contact me directly in there and by DM. The reason why I brought it up. But yeah, shout out to Miami showing love for show, man.
Fire.
Shut 'em down, DJs. What's good? I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't even know how. Well, the reason why I didn't see it, because it was on my right screen. And as soon as I saw it pop up in the middle with the gifted, then right as the gifted went, I saw 400. I was like, 400. Then I looked to the right. Then I had to look to the left to make sure it was, verified. Now, he legit. He legit, man. Shout out to Shut 'Em Down DJs once again, man. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. Little Haiti in the building. Dimples, been a member for 28 months in a row. She said BCU at 13%. Set it on fire. Fire. Yeah. Yeah, I got it up here now, y'all. I'm about to be able to see everything like that because I ain't going to let it gloss past me like that. I hope I wasn't too late catching on to that. Othela, OCO, sister, how you? Been a minute. I haven't seen you in here in a while. Not to put you on the spot, but welcome back. I apologize for putting you on the spot like that. And then Shut 'Em Down member. No, Shut 'Em Down DJs became a member, a diamond member. Hold up, brother. I wasn't talking about other channel. Oh, man. I was talking about other 13%. He became a member of the channel. But, man. And C8 Lot, thank you for becoming a member as well. Lady MG, thank you for the 5 gifted. Now, oh, man. I hope if he in the chat, Blue or Levante, send him the link for me, please, so he can know what we talk about, because he done became a diamond member on here. I appreciate that, though. All right, look. I'm about to... We good? You got it? Okay. Let me get back to this video real quick, because that I ain't gonna lie, I forgot where we were. Let me come back a little bit.
The out of Africa theory, right? It's basically this idea that evolution happened from monkeys all the way to white man.
Wait, there he go, y'all. Y'all see him? Shut 'Em Down DJs. There you go, right there. And I appreciate that too, brother. Firm handshakes to you, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, get up in there. Let's link, brother. Let's link. Yeah, shout out to Miami once again. All right, come on, y'all. Here we go.
Minds, not our bodies. Like, bro, what if everybody around us is in on the secret and we're the only ones that don't know? Like, what if everybody's just been paid to shh? Like, bro, think about it. The out of Africa theory, right? It's basically this idea that evolution happened from monkeys all the way to white man, right? They think that, like, white man is, like, the level of, like, you've evolved, you've made it. And then there's nothing else to evolve to, because, like, once you've made it to whiteness, you've made it to God.
And by the way, let me explain. They wanted you to believe that, but even within their own pseudoscience, they found, or what they were looking for, was how their people were created. Don't forget that. That was their main goal. They were trying to find out where their people came from. And the reason why they called it pseudoscience is because through natural selection they claimed the Darwin theory, they claimed that man came from monkey, but they were referring to themselves, not our people. Keep in mind, we got big lips, monkeys don't. And who else don't?
Furthermore, we all know that the only reason that Africa is referred to as the old world is because white people were in Africa first, right? We all know this, right? Like, the only reason America is called the New World is because they discovered it after they were in Africa. Like, they were in Africa for thousands of years before they even set sail in 1492 in the ocean blue. Like, bro, think about this. Right?
That's correct. But as far as them only being in Africa, that's not true, because the albinos, they went to Brazil.
It is my claim that melanated people are indigenous to all the lands. Like, this idea of there being a first where everybody was at is...
Okay, so I misunderstood her. So she was referring to where they were at first. Okay, so I misunderstood her. So she wasn't talking about them being first in Africa. She's referring to them saying that they were the first in Africa. Okay, I got what she was saying because she came back and said that in her sense, melanated people were first everywhere. Okay, now I see what she was saying. But I mean, okay, I got what she was saying.
Where were we at?
Oops, I hit the wrong
Everywhere,
button.
all at once. Furthest to all the lands. Like this idea of there being a first where everybody was at is a lie, right? We were everywhere all at once. Furthermore, this idea that there were no humans during Pangea is a lie. It is a scientific, physiological, biological, anatomical law that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Where were we at? If there was land, there was also humanity. And this land mass as one would have still included all 7 continents. It wouldn't have just been Africa. There were still 7 continents. They were just together. And there were people on all 7 of those continents. So when they broke up, those people didn't just like go away. Like, dude, the white man is not our problem.
That's right.
The white man has never been our problem. The white man will never be our problem because the white man doesn't have the power to penetrate the skin.
Not only that, they don't have the population to penetrate tribes. They didn't have the population. Like, it wasn't enough of them. They making you believe that they were something bigger than they were. They weren't big at all. They weren't large in mass as far as their population. They are still not. Historically, this is known. They are still not. They cannot mass produce. This is the reason why they continuously are mixing. And that has nothing to do with racism or being against them or anything like that. That's just a fact. And scientifically proven at that. They are dying faster than they are reproducing. They're just not a breeding gene. They need melanin in order to stay afloat.
Melanin, right? At a physiological level, which lets me know, right? The cry is coming from inside the house. Okay,
right.
The cry is coming from inside the house. And even in the history that they tell us, okay, that our oppressors have given us, they tell us that the only way that they could have gotten to us is if Africa sold us out. That is important. Remember that. When you take ownership of the land that is your birthright, that is your inheritance, pay attention to who tells you that's not who you are and that's not where you come from.
Or pay attention to the people that get mad when you say that. That when you claim your birthright. Pay attention to and this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Right now. Because when I started back in 2015 and I started posting my videos on Facebook, and my first video, 7 million views, and my second video was 7 million views on Facebook. And all of a sudden, Facebook started blocking me 30 days. After that, blocked me 60, blocked me 90, then perma-blocked me from. I was like, yo, what, huh? What happened? What? Oh, wait, y'all mad at this? Y'all mad at this? And once I found out that this is what they was mad at, I kept going. I was like, whoa, this is major. You really don't want people to know who they are. You are upset that I'm telling people, hey, man, we've been lied to when it came to American history, when it comes to our people's history in America. Okay? We let a whole stranger tell our story when their ancestors wasn't even here to begin with to even start to tell our story about what happened here. The stories that they are giving us was all man-crafted. It was all indoctrination. Not a bit of it was true. I remember remember when y'all started seeing them signs in the 1960s, by the way? And you seen some of them white folks out there was holding up signs saying, go back to Africa? They used that against you. You the one that started saying you was from Africa back then. Prior to that, your folks ain't say none of that. Your folks ain't say none of that. Your folks ain't say, hey, our folks came directly from a boat. And we were sold into slavery. They didn't say none of that. that would have been passed down. You know how major that is? Every single thing that's major that happened in your family's life, you know about. At least the majority of them. And you think something that major is not going to get passed down from your grandparents? We don't even got to go that far back. Because keep in mind, your grandparents are the children of the grandparents that were enslaved, right? It wasn't that long ago. 25 years is roundabout that is the next generation. So 3 generations ago was who? And then 3 generations ago was who? But, I'm talking about before that. So 6 generations ago, that ain't your 6 great-grandparents. That ain't that far back. Look at how easy that is. Like, see what I'm saying? This is why it's achievable for you to find out what happened to your people. Keep in mind, this is 2025. They said the Emancipation and Proclamation, 1863, 1865, right? That's not that long ago. I'm just saying, our people got to get motivated enough to go pull up their family's records and start doing genealogy for real. So they can actually see what's happening with them or what happened to their family. Hurry up. Because a lot of those records disappeared, but we can still get them. But it's just certain ways that you got to get them now. Not everything is online. I can tell you that right now. Not everything is online. Not everything was scanned in and uploaded online. You're going to have to go to these facilities. The main facility that I highly recommend is the National Archives. You need those microfilms here. You need to look at them and see if your family members are on those disembark and embark lists, because they exist. And I told you what you're going to find out is that it was nothing but foreigners coming. Nothing but foreigners coming. And they were assigned our last names. Because that wasn't their last names out there in parts of the different world. They weren't speaking English like how we were. They weren't speaking English like how we were. I want y'all to think about English. I'm about to move on to the next video, but I want y'all to think about that. They made y'all believe that English came from a totally different landmass when it came from here. I don't care what nobody say, but as long as you say that Dane Calloway was the first to tell you that English is indigenous to this landmass, because I've been saying it and showed you for a long time, and I got backlash for that. And I told you I wasn't lying, and I showed you my evidence, and I showed you that Noah Webster admitted to that. And I went back on his history to show you that it was legit. English came from us. It did not come from England. It was never called England. It was England, home of the Angles. It was an A, not an E. It was an A, not an E. See, and the only people that will regurgitate things that they find inside of, for example, ChatGPT, Google, and all the rest of them, like AIs that's pulling from algorithms that are already out. Keep in mind, these algorithms are biasly programmed by people that are borrowing the information that they pulled from Google. You think they're going to add all that information in on them by themselves? No, they're going to take an AI to copy another AI to make another AI. It's copy and paste, ladies and gentlemen. Copy and paste. There's nothing new that's out right now. Nothing. Everything is copy and paste. ChatGPT is Google. Google is Yahoo. Yahoo is AOL. The search engines ain't shit change. Think. They didn't change a goddamn thing. They went from dial-up to DSL to cable. Look, ain't all three unplugged up to the wall? It's the same thing. You was sized to get that, making all that noise. 40 seconds later, you got mail. You like, oh, look, y'all. Remember where hotmail.com was our email address? Yahoo was our email address. Y'all remember? Shit, AOL was our email address. Yeah, Ask Jeeves, MapQuest. Y'all remember? MapQuest was our GPS. We had to look at a piece of paper with instructions on it. The turn left, the turn right, stop 500 feet. All that was on the paper. Not reading it to us. Hey, do y'all want my voice? Oh, you know what? Let me ask y'all this. Have y'all ever heard of this app called wait, because let me hold on, let me ask y'all first before I say anything. There's an app called Waze. Waze is an app that it's like a GPS app. Y'all know about Waze? WAZE. Look, the reason why I'm asking that is because would you like to have my narrator voice on Waze? Like, would you like to hear me say, in 500 feet, turn left? Make sure you have your seatbelt on. You do not want to get pulled over by the police out here. Like, I'm just saying, as an example. Make sure you got your insurance handy. Police are up ahead. Slow down. Roll your windows up. It's like, no. Look. Okay. All right. So everybody's saying, yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna put it on there. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna put that on Waze. I swear I wasn't gonna do it unless y'all wanted me to do it. We got one nope. Yeah, no, it's called Waze. The app. It's an app. It's a GPS app. WAZE. It's pretty good because it lets you know where the police at and everything. Like, I mean, just as an example. Nah, I gotta have haters. That's good that I got haters. It's good. You know. There's always one hater. Shoot, it'd be more than that. You know what I'm saying? I may even start it, but nah, I'm gonna record those. And I'm gonna let y'all know when it's up. And yeah. I think that's gonna be funny though. I think that's gonna be nice at the same time. I should do more voiceovers. Order right now and get your spiritual products from such and such. I don't know. That at 1-800, blah, 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 blah. Nah, I mean, yeah. But nah, they gonna make me do voiceovers for like Nike and them. I mean, unless y'all want me to do it for y'all business. I could do drops for DJs. Yeah, you rocking with Shut 'Em Down DJs in Miami. We heavy. Like anything. Like I could do that. That's easy. But if you want me to do the documentary voice, that'd be funny though. Doing the DJ drop of the documentary. You are now listening to Shut 'Em Down DJs in the Miami Heat. I wonder how hot it is for y'all this week, Miami. Or Florida. Florida, how hot y'all about to get this week? Because we gonna be in the hundreds. Y'all gonna be in the hundreds? Who got into the hundreds this year? Look, don't say Texas. I'm out here. Don't Texas don't count. Texas was hot. Hot, stupid hot. And then a bunch of rain. Man, it's about to go right back to hot. And Cali, Vegas. Yeah, I forgot about Vegas. Arizona. Oh, Lord. Y'all need a penalty for how hot y'all be getting. Yeah, it was $100 for sure. 118, right. Yeah, y'all was, 110, 115. 109, woo. Boston got 100? You lying. I need me see some ID. Boston got 100 degrees? Portland, Oregon reached 100? Man, they touching this weather. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We about to be talking about a bunch of stuff. Let me keep pushing. Hold on. Listen to me. I'm over here talking to chat. See, chat, that's y'all fault, though. That's y'all fault. 105 in Nebraska? Cold in D.C.? D.C. Oh, man, y'all deserve at least 80s or 90s right now. That's not fair. Yeah, shout out to Tanisha. She been doing her thing. Yep. Shout out to Tanisha. She been doing her thing. She got her channel going. She doing her thing for sure. Enjoying the 70s in St. Louis. I might be starting to believe in global warming. Man, they playing games. 118 in Arizona. Woo! 120 in Vegas. 120 in Columbus, Ohio. Shut up, Montana. Montana, stop, man. Oh, Lord, he done came. Oh, Montana, bro, stop. He gonna say 120 in Columbus, Ohio, bro. Stop that. You know you playing. You gonna have all of Ohio cuss your ass out, bro. You good? They not real shit. You know you lying. Screenshot it. Let me see. You got to be lying. Been in the 90s the past week out here. Anaheim? Where's Anaheim at? AC repairman making a killing down here. AC going out every day. Ooh, that's not fair how some areas only got AC. Y'all need to have central air when it be that hot. I think that should be a law. I don't think it should be AC in areas where it's too hot. It need to be central air. That should be mandatory. It need to be central air in them areas. When it gets stupid hot during the summer, central air everywhere. No questions asked. Everybody gotta have central air. Because the ACs, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? You got that one little ass machine. Even if you got a big one, no, them big machines be thumping. Some of them little machines be thumping too, but you only got one room versus the AC. You get a whole HVAC system, that joint could be straight central air throughout the house. You're gonna be good. You just gotta change them filters. Yeah, you need an HVAC for sure. That's not fair for you to just have an AC only. I'm not gonna lie. Especially in them type of weather, that 90s and up, and you know it's gonna stay like that. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You may have to pull one out on that house and, hey, look, you know, you can pay that loan off. I'm telling you, upgrade that HVAC. I don't want you out there like that. When the AC go out or somebody's chiller. I remember when I used to be in, when I used to live in apartments and it used to be so hot that the apartment used to be so goddamn ghetto, man. The chiller used to break and all of our air went out to the whole building. I hated that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I hated that. That was so petty. Then we was forced to get our own ACs and fans because it was central air in there, but they controlled the central air from a little HVAC system that sent it out to them. I hated how that was, bro. But I'm talking the whole HVAC system doesn't hold up down here. See, that's what I'm saying. I went through that. So yeah, I was just saying that. That's the situation when they had central air and was forcing us to, like, that's why I hate that. That's the part I hate. When the chillers break and now it seemed like they ain't, doing something right. That joint always breaking. I don't like that. Now that's something that's crazy. I wish technology would have took care of that by now. I remember them days. And you was forced to get the AC and the fans. Joe, 2 winters here in Iowa with no heat. Some people have swamp coolers in the desert areas. ACs are needed for older homes. Yeah, absolutely. For older homes, but you can still put HVACs in the older. I mean, it is going to be pricey, but you could put central air in there, man. I know. I just thought about the price how it's going to cost to put duct throughout that whole house, but it'll be worth it. I got a video on that, Kate. Go on my channel. Type that into my channel. That's going to pop right up. You ain't got to go too far back. I done brought that up so many damn times. You probably going to see something recent on that. But keep in mind, like, different tribes practice different things. So not everything was it wasn't like one set thing for every tribe. Like, just keep that in mind. We were spiritual people. There was going to be some things, that we agree upon being spiritual people and, ones with nature. Like, I'm talking about general things that we agreed upon, but it was definitely going to be different things that we did. Like, the ceremonies are different. Like, for example, the ceremonies that you see right now that so-called tribes are doing that are out there right now, they're all copying each other. And that's not authentic because that's not how it was in the past. That's how you know they're not real. Okay? Not everybody wore the same outfit. Not everybody did the same beat, sang the same songs. All that stuff is, they made that shit up. They went to class for that and got taught that and brought that back to their fake tribes and said, okay, this is what we're going to learn and pass down. None of that stuff is authentic. Just know that. Just know that. It's not the same. They came in and when I say infiltrated the tribe, they infiltrated the tribe. To that degree. It's sad. It's real sad. It's unfortunate. But I'm glad that we're going in this direction. When we having these discussions and making moves. Okay? Not just talking, we doing something about it. But the talking was necessary. It was necessary. Since the revolution would not be televised, hey, why not it be on social media?
Set it on fire.
All right, let me pull up the next joint. Because we on that same topic. Listen to this brother here.
Caucasian people, I got a legit question, right? So you can only live 2 or 3 days without water, right? So if it took 3 to 4 months to get to Africa and back, 3-4 months to get there, 3-4 months to get back, right? Where was all the water and the food was, right? Where was the water and the food? Not only that, right? But ask yourself this. This is a civilized question, man.
Now, he's right, but in the beginning, he said that we couldn't live off for 2 to 3 days unless he was being sarcastic and saying that that's what they're saying. Because we could definitely live without water for 2 to 3 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. But if he was just being sarcastic and saying that's what they were saying, then all right, cool.
This is something that got to be asked today in 2025. We have to ask this. Why would y'all get to a land, see some people, right? They show you corn, cotton, probably all type of different herbs, so-called turkey, like you said, you had Thanksgiving, all this mess, right?
Mm.
Why not just put them in slavery? If they know how to grow the food, they know how to till the land.
Right. That very good question. Very good. See, this is what I'm talking about. The quality of your life. The quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask. That's a very good question.
They know how to grow the cotton, pick the cotton. Why not put them in slavery? If you already gonna give them all type of diseases, murder them off, end up going to war with them, why not put them in slavery?
It would make it easy on you.
All your time, all your resources to go on a 3-4 month trip to Africa and 3-4 months back.
Right.
Right?
To bring a whole group, another set, right?
When it was people already on
here.
The land.
Thank you. Hold on, stop. That's A. Shout out to this brother. That's the type of questioning I love our people are doing right now. I love it. I love that. That's the type of questioning I'm talking about. Our people are doing that. See, this is action, y'all. This is action. And I'm not going to get tired of showcasing our people showing up and asking these type of questions because I've been doing this for 10 years. And I'm glad that I'm finally seeing progress in my own people that I can actually be proud of and play and just sit back and be like, thank God. Thank the creator. This is something we needed because this is about to change everything for the better for our people. It's going to be in our people's favor. I can't wait.
That could till the land. They knew about the crops. They knew about poison ivy. They knew what you can eat. They knew what you couldn't eat. They knew all the herbs. They knew all the animals. It was their land.
All right. Absolutely.
Why not use them? They was already growing the crops and the food. They already had everything. Why not just act like y'all was cool with them, snatch them up, put them in slavery? But y'all want us to believe that y'all look past these people and went and got a whole nother people and put them in slavery, but you still somehow murdered most of these people off?
It's impossible.
No, man, this gig is up. Y'all got to stop this, bro.
It's impossible.
Y'all got to stop this. And then not only that, man, I do a lot of reading, bro. I do a lot of reading. I ain't gonna even go really too much go there with y'all. This one of my greats right here. You see that? Before the Mayflower. Negroes in America before the Mayflower. This is what I say, man. They never wanted us to read, bro. They never wanted us to read. Okay? I got another one. The Black West. Y'all need to read, man. Y'all, if you ain't picking up a book right now today, the stuff that these people are saying makes no type of sense. Look at me. Do I look like an African to you? I can literally tell an African from anybody. I get in the cab and be like, boy, African.
Right.
Same way we can tell a Somalian.
Right.
Same way we can tell an Ethiopian by how big and round their head is. Bro, listen. If y'all for once thinking, all right? Thinking now that we are Africans, I'm going to need you to think again, boy.
Shout out to this brother. I don't know the brother's name. If y'all know his name, drop it in the chat for me. I'll give him a shout out, but shout out to this brother, man. He was absolutely right and exact. Absolutely right and exact. Yeah, the book was called Before the Mayflower. Yeah, it's a good book. And you know what the Mayflower is, right? Keep in mind, that is not the only boat, though, that they came on. I just want that to be known. That is not the only boat that was utilized by the foreigners. Keep in mind, they also had steamboats. Okay, here's another thing about the transatlantic slave trade that you know they were lying about, because this is the truth. They didn't have boats with motors before they had the steamboats. And if you look at when the steamboats were utilized, this is going to debunk the majority of the transatlantic slave trade as to the way you were told that it happened. Okay? Remember, I told you that it happened in reverse, meaning that it happened in the opposite direction. We went to Africa. Okay? To Africa. And I told you when, because that was the only time period where it makes sense for that those groups can go, okay, to a landmass like that and won't be harassed and, able to possibly, reside there. Okay. And it's going to cost money. It's going to take things. You got to survive across them seas now. Like he said, 3 to 4 months there, 3 to 4 months back. That is not a simple task when you're on the water. And people need to understand that. That is not something to play with. We talking about a major journey coming from America to Africa. That's not straight across. Like I told you, they have the ocean gyres there. There's no such thing as going straight across. You have to go around, and you have to make sure that you don't run into a water reef, because if you do, that's the end of your sailboat, because that's what you had. You did not have a boat with a motor, okay, until after the steamboats. And I want, look, did anybody come back and say the year when the steamboats was being used? Because I want you to see how late in the 1800s the steamboats came about, and then the boats with motors came later. That's how you know it wasn't no big 12.5 million enslaved Africans coming from Africa being imported over here. No. Impossible. There wasn't that many of y'all coming over here. Y'all didn't start coming over here in large landmass until the late 1800s, until it was possible. Until it was possible. We started seeing the majority of y'all in the 1840s and the 1850s. And then y'all started coming, y'all had great migrational periods. There's 3 of them. And y'all tried to move our people around. Tried to force us west, right? Lands west of the Mississippi River. Before the Indian Removal Act. And the majority of our people stayed, even after the Indian Removal Act. You ain't move all the East Woodland Indians, nigga. You couldn't. You didn't have enough bands to take care of these clubs. You ain't have enough aces to take care of them spades. You didn't have enough people. Your population was small. You couldn't even win the wars on your own. You had to take other Indians. See? You had to take other Indians to help you. You couldn't do shit without the Indians on both sides of the war. No matter which war you pick. No matter which war you pick. We were always involved. And I mean our people. Now, no foreign group. I'm talking about when y'all hear me state that, I'm talking about our people, the Niji, the indigenous people of this landmass, Niji Kawin. Okay? And I mean that from, keep in mind, I'm saying that from a masculine standpoint, but I'm meaning that in a general standpoint. Some of y'all know that is the masculine word to say it, but reason why is because I'm a masculine man. I'm going to say the masculine way to say it is Niji Kawin. Okay? Of course I'm going to do that. That's showing more proper respect when I'm utilizing that terminology. We talking Algonquin language here, the mother language. That some of y'all fail to realize, and y'all claim y'all indigenous, and you ain't putting respect on the Algonquin language. Everybody talking about, oh, okay, we need to learn this and that and this and that. Where you think it came from? They know what's up. That's major. And see, them foreigners don't know nothing about that. Yeah, we speaking of former Algonquin right now. You got Algonquin to thank for the English language. That's right. All the way down to your Chata. Macro Algonquin. Not a game. I remember one video, I had to put some Choctaw native in his place. He gonna try to tell me that Choctaw not Algonquin. I said, see, this how I know you ain't do your research. You talking to me. And then I had to school him. Keep in mind, if you want to call me out on something and you think you correct me, you got to be prepared because I'm going to correct you. I'm not going to put anything out that I don't know nothing about. This is not for show. This is not show and tell. Just because it ain't popping up in your GPT or chat GPT algorithm don't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't need the algorithm to tell me if I'm right or wrong. I am the algorithm. I am the source. I do my research for me and share my research with you. It got us to this point. I'm going to tell you that right now. This was not a game for me. I did not come in here playing no goddamn games. I told everybody the truth. And my word stands. You could go back on my videos. I ain't changed nothing. Nothing. They know I'm not playing. And I'm glad that this is happening for our people because our people are waking up. Man, y'all just don't understand how powerful this is. Some of y'all do. But y'all got to understand how powerful this is. We are scaring these people, bruh. We are scaring these people. These people are scared, y'all. O.C.O. Love Jones, how you? O.C.Kachu. So look, matter of fact, let me play. This is a perfect. Let me segue into this video real quick. I ain't even gonna say it. Let me just play it.
Europeans need to go home. Enough.
Stop. Stop. Hold up. Hold up. Listen. Listen. The internet is turning up in 2025 in a lot of good ways.
Europeans need to go home.
Listen to how it's starting. Woo! All right, hold on. Here we go.
Europeans need to go home. Enough of the 500-year masquerade, where a group of frost-bitten cave dwellers crawled out of their wet, sunless continent, trespassed on every shore, planted their pale flag like a mildew stain, and decided that the rest of the planet was theirs to rearrange. Enough of this endless, ghoulish house party, where the drunkest, loudest, most ill-mannered guest refuses to leave after the music has stopped, after the food is gone, after the hosts have went to bed, after the sun has come up. You are standing in the living room of civilizations you didn't build.
Ooh, hey.
Set it on fire.
Oh, man. This is hilarious. This is hilarious, bruh.
After the food is gone, after the hosts have went to bed, after the sun has come up, you are standing in the living room of civilizations you didn't build, clutching a plastic cup of stolen sugar, and the carpet you keep grinding your boots into remembers every muddy footprint, every cobblestone, every brick, every river, every tree, and every blade of grass in these lands is whispering the same thing. It's time to go home. Go home to your damp, gray peninsula of permanent misery. Go home to your crooked castles and your centuries of war with yourselves.
Wait, stop for a second. Is this AI? Is this AI? What? We can't tell if this is AI. Is this AI?
Go home to your unfinished history. The one you fled because you couldn't fix it. So you decided to vandalize everyone else's instead. Go home to your famines.
Set it on fire. Fire.
Hold up,
fire,
bruh. Woo. Hold on, bruh.
To your inbred monarchs, your cold kitchens, your crumbling churches with rats in the steeple. Go home and sit with the fact that the entire planet now knows exactly who you are. Because what you did was not exploration. It was not discovery. It was not civilization. It was looting with bad table manners. It was a global dine and dash. It was walking into the homes of people older, wiser, and infinitely kinder than you, breaking their furniture, stealing their food, and then pretending you were the one who invented eating. And here's the truth that burns. You do not belong anywhere else but the wet little rock you crawled from. You don't belong under this sun. These lands reject you like a body rejecting a transplant. Your skin peels in the light. Your bones rot in the heat. Your soul dries out and cracks because everything you touch.
This nigga wrote a poem. Are you kidding me?
Knows you're a foreigner. You are out of place here.
What? Hold on.
Your bones rot in the heat. Your soul dries out and cracks because everything you touch knows you're a foreigner. You are out of place here, and the planet is tired of hosting you. The
Jesus Christ. Hey, maybe I should have saved this for the end. What the fuck?
If squatting is over,
Woo, he even went to the squatting. Don't forget that they were the tenants. I told y'all, they were the ones that were squatting. They were the
everything
tenants.
you touch
they had to pay a
knows
fee.
You're a foreigner. You are out of place here, and the planet is tired of hosting you. The age of squatting is over. 5 centuries of trespassing, of plundering, of whispering,
and
that you were necessary. You weren't. And the illusion that you could stay forever is breaking. Go home before the river runs backwards to spit you out. Go home because the eviction notice isn't coming with paper and ink this time. It's coming in silence, in hunger, in storms, in the collapse of every fragile little system you built.
Shit. Hold up, bruh. Listen. Bruh, you can't tell me he ain't write this down, number one. Number two, this is like, I'm talking about for real, this is absolute fire. This is absolute
it's coming
fire.
In silence, in hunger, in storms, in the collapse of every fragile little system you built to protect yourselves from the truth. Go home, Europeans. The world has cleaned the table, turned off the lights, locked the doors, and the only thing left for you to do is walk out into the cold night that made you and back to the caves that are calling your name. Cope.
Cope. Shit, he dropped the mic. Hey, you know what though? You know, it's good to see that there's other people out here that's waking up too, that share, you know, a different skin complexion. And I was trying to tell people that this was inevitable. I kept saying it. It's coming. Regardless. The war is already happening. It's a spiritual war. The war is already happening. But he's right, though. It's not going to be in ink and pen. The eviction notice is going to be the action in play. You're going to see it look like a movie that you're watching, but yet you're in your reality seeing what's about to happen. I'm not going to, and it came fast too. I agree, Louise. I agree. The reason why And that's very good that you say that. The reason why is because it's inevitable. One, it was faster than I anticipated. Okay? I thought I was going to be, a little older than this. But no. No. I'm going to be real. I thought it was, I didn't know it was going to be happening this fast. But, we got a full supermoon out here tonight. And I want to state this out there right now. We're supposed to be stating positive affirmations. I want all of this to become our realities from now on into our future futures and future futures. I don't want this to ever have a pausing moment in history. I want it to be eternal. I want to see our people succeed. I want to see our people achieve. I want to see our people lead. I want to see our people grow. I want to see our people be. I want to see our people be at the top as the chiefs and chiefess again. Okay? And own these cities, run these towns, okay? Command these counties, okay? And progress these countries. And freedom for our people and all people that we feel are equal, Keep in mind, they are visitors. That's why we're not a resident. A resident is a person in transient status. That means that you're there temporarily. You're not there permanently. You are not a resident. A resident is the same thing as a citizen. A citizen is there temporarily because you're going to move where the government goes. The government failed in Ukraine. It's up for grabs, y'all. The president ran. He's not there. Let's tell the truth. The president is not there in Ukraine. And those people in Russia, they're telling each other that they need to go out there and loot everything that they can because there's nothing else there. And that's why Putin circled it and said he wants it. And he's going to get it. Yeah, they're freeloading. Yes. That's what's happening right now. And that's why I don't know if you guys noticed, you're seeing a lot more Ukrainians and Russians coming here now. I'm seeing a lot more now. Me personally, I'm seeing a lot more now. They're coming now. We can't bring them straight. I agree. No, I'm not saying, okay, I don't know. I hope that wasn't misinterpreted like we need to be helping them. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what's happening in Ukraine. See? But this is all the more reason why I'm explaining how we need to be in control of our own destiny. We should not allow or continue to allow strangers to dictate that point. And we have been for so long. Notice how he said 500 years. Whatever number you want to put, however long you think it is. Okay? White supremacy came in the 1890s. All right? Now, when we want to go back as far as when the intruders came here, when the foreigners came here, that's something different. But if we want to go 1890, that's when white supremacy started. 1890s. So that was only 135. Yep, 135 years. So it wasn't 500 technically. Yeah, Ellis Island, 1892. Yeah, so 1890s is when white supremacy started. And that's when, from 2025, that's 135. So that's what I'm referring to. And that's what that's where all the problems began. Really. That's where all the problems began. Then we could go from there. So to claim that they have 500, nah. I mean, because keep in mind, they needed our help. And this is a landmass that they're not familiar with. And the people that were coming here, we already know were their imprisoned people. Like it could have been imprisoned, slaved, or whatever you want to call it. I know some of y'all are going to say indentured servant, but it was a lot of orphans. It was a lot of prostitutes. It was a lot of, separated families, like if it was a divorced wife, divorced husband, but mainly, divorced wife, they were, imprisoned for certain particular reasons. This is called the Bloody Code in the UK, as an example. Like if you guys know Fiddler on the Roof and the stories like that, where they were talking about the orphans that were happening in the UK and they were being brought over here by means of transportation. Transportation was the sentencing, okay? Meaning that you were banned from your motherland. And this is the reason why they tried to lie to you and say that Africa was your motherland when it wasn't. It never was. You were already on your motherland, okay? They were referring to where most of them came from and how they got here, okay? Okay? How they traveled here. They were trying to get your mind off of America so they could have it all for themselves. Right. Now, Michelle, I'm not sure, but I do see that it's a lot of them who are criminals that are still coming. And I'm not trying to speak no names, of what I know, but I know the lot, that the ones that they're still allowing to come over here are criminals. They have a criminal background and they're running from Russia and Ukraine. They did something wrong, okay? They can't go back. Okay, that's why when they come over here, they're seeking asylum. Keep in mind, this is happening still, you guys. This is not a game. Just because you're not looking at it doesn't mean that it's not happening. Okay? And I know that because they don't hesitate to tell you if you ask. All you have to do is ask the right questions. They will tell you. If the next Russian you run into, ask them, hey, why would you go back to Russia? And if they say no, guaranteed they are a criminal. But let them talk. They're going to tell you. And that's historically, though. Hold on, I'm sorry. I hit that mic. Hold on. My bad. But that's historically with a lot of the foreigners. They're coming over here, technically pardoning. Right. But when they seek an asylum, like, what's that boy's name that went against the FBI and he ran to Russia seeking asylum? White boy with glasses. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And he leaked, not FBI, the CIA stuff. He leaked all that stuff about the fact that they were tapping into our phones and tapping into our phone conversations. Snowden. Snowden. Y'all saying Snowden too. Hold on. What was his first name? Edwin? But that guy, Edward or something like that. That guy. He went and got asylum also, but he went in Russia, if I'm not mistaken, and got asylum. But see how he did something criminal and was able to start over in a different country? The reason why I brought that up is because that's what the majority of them are doing when they come over here. The majority. And this is historical, ladies and gentlemen. This has been going on for years. And I mean all the way back to the 1800s. Shit, even the 1600s. Okay, but that's why I was, if you go back on my documentaries, this is the reason why I brought up their history. So a lot of people were turning their nose up when I started telling y'all who the real slaves were, because a lot of y'all wanted to latch onto that narrative as if we were the only slaves or our people were the only prisoners of war. And that's not true. When I kept telling you, keep in mind, they were running from enslavement. And the reason why, or how you would know as like with a lead that you can lead with to get you to that more information that you would need, I suggest that you go back on my channel and you can learn more, is the census calling them free whites. If they were free, why would it need to be written down as if they were not free before? If they were free, why would the word free be used? Keep in mind, look, that goes with the same thing with the term freedman. And I told everybody then, hey, don't latch onto that term freedman thinking that we need to be called freedmen. And y'all believing that has something to do with slavery, freed from enslavement, and it does not. The term freedman was from the Catholic Christianity. Religious belief. That's Christianity saying that you're freedmen. You're freeborn. That's what they're referring to. You're now reborn as a new Christian. You're a freedman. White people were called freedmen. I told you that. Look. And see, but you see how they trying to force our people to be coming up in these tribes as freedmen? Look at the labels. Forcing them to use that. When they the real deal, they didn't have freedmen in the front. If they was freedmen, what was the point of writing free down? And I'm referring to the whites at this point. If they were free whites, why does that need to be labeled on the census? And I showed you the census. I showed you the census records from 1790 all the way up. I showed you documentation. I showed you what they were doing. I even showed you the records of what the enumerators were, their instructions, the enumerators' instructions directly from the government to let you know what they had to do. This is not a game. These people use these terms against our people, so we won't know the real story. But all of us are the same. As far as I'm talking about indigenous to this landmass, though, I'm referring to this landmass. The so-called black people, the so-called African American people, the so-called freedmen, the so-called Moors, the so-called Hebrews, the so-called Christians. Okay, the majority of y'all so-called Pan-Africans, y'all, real talk, the majority of y'all are indigenous to this landmass. The majority. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Y'all see what I did, Mods? All right, hold on. Let me pull up this other one. Okay. Yeah, I just had to do that because look, like that person, I don't want that in the chat. Okay. Not at all. That person ain't real. Let me see. Yeah, I'm talking about they got to be my people. You know what I mean? Okay, okay. So the next video I'm about to pull up, all right, let me explain. So this is a Ghana woman, right? Now she's exposing the story that your ChatGPT or, you know, your Google, Wikipedia, she exposing what the story that they're claiming, the brand new story, by the way, that they're claiming about Harriet Tubman online, and she making fun of it. Now, some of y'all may get offended by this because she an African girl and she actually said something bad about, you know, some of y'all that claim that y'all FBA or, you know, she said something, but I want y'all to hear the underlying message, okay? So I'm going to play this, but I don't want you to get offended like I'm on her side or something just because what she pointing out is right and exact. Keep this in mind. I want you to know that. What she pointing out is right, but what she doing antagonizing y'all is incorrect. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why she doing that. I'm not agreeing with that part. I don't know her, but I want you to see what she pointing out.
So an African freed your ass. So I'm gonna move a bit down. A grandmother was a goat. See, the jokes writes itself. You fucking foundational black Americans don't even know that this woman that saved your ass. Saved your ass, Agent Moses, that saved your fucking ass.
She calling her Agent Moses. Now keep in mind, according to the story, it's saying that Harriet Tubman's African ancestry traces her maternal grandmother, Modesty, who was brought to the U.S. on a slave ship from the Gold Coast, okay, likely the area of modern day Ghana. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that's bull. Like, the whole story of Harriet Tubman is bits and pieces of multiple pieces of other people's stories put together. Like, this part right here is spanking brand new. As far as her grandmother being on a slave ship. Spanking brand new. Now, I already, again, you know, and I'm going to bring this up. And this is the part where I'm saying that she's right. And she's right at saying that she's an agent, Agent Moses. In this sense, she laughing and trying to throw it in people's faces like, they got y'all saying, or got y'all thinking that she was from America, but now you see that she got an African ancestry. This was an African that saved your ass. She trying to be funny, right? She trying to be funny. So that's why I say I disagree with her on that note, but I'm glad that she pointed this out because this is bullshit. And I've been telling y'all that this is bull. Like, you kept falling for the same thing over and over. The story always changing. Every 2-3 years, they adding something brand new to the story. That's not how this works, but they doing that for y'all on purpose. On purpose because they know you going to bite into it and believe it. And now they done gave the Africans an excuse, the ones that's against you who are Africans, you know, making fun of you and stuff like that. They done gave them some firepower. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? That could have been typed into Chat GPT and that person just posted that picture up there. Who knows? But I'm just saying, ain't no way in the world this information is legit. As far as Harriet Tubman is concerned, ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I proved why. And I told you that she was made up by an act of Congress. Think about that. You got to copyright the story just so you can sell it. This was red flag everywhere. And I told y'all about the reports of our people not going back and selecting our ancestors' pictures that were being held by the National Archives, and they can easily select those pictures as public domain and claim that they are pictures of someone else that they created. You have to get a hold of your ancestors' records and the pictures that were taken of them. Now, Dane, how do we find that out if they weren't labeled correctly? Well, you go by location. A lot of the pictures were definitely labeled by date and location. And there's only about 4 major photo companies that archive photos like this. 4 major ones. You could look this up. They're going to be in somebody's catalog that's been there for years that you need to get a hold of. Just take a look and see if you run across. And the only way you're going to know that that's your ancestor is if you pull up records of your family members. And you line that up by way of the date and location where those group of pictures were taken. Keep in mind, they could have been doing business at that time and got featured in things like, for example, newspaper articles. You know what I mean? That stuff was out back then. You got to take a look at that as to the reason why the picture was taken to begin with. Or they could have been featured in a book. You know what I mean? And as like a pamphlet. They called them pamphlets back then. That's like a brochure. But they did have your ancestors' pictures in there too, promoting whatever it was. Like, you need to take a look at that because you will find that. But it's a lot of those. I'm talking about tons of those pictures that have not been claimed. And the pictures that they're telling y'all of Harriet Tubman are one of them. Because I proved it to y'all. I showed y'all what it was called before they selected that picture. The original picture of her, and they tried to say was a picture of her brothers and sisters. And that's all in the book too, by the way. All of this is not only on my channel, it's in my book as well. And when I showed you the picture that they were utilizing, I showed you what category it was under. I'm talking about official documentation. The ID that was attached to it, what year, where it was located, all of that. And then they selected it later and said that was Harriet Tubman. It's not the fact that the family came forward and said that was Harriet Tubman. There was no family. See, that's another thing. There was no family. None. Like, why they not getting paid from her right now? They making cash money, buku money, off of Harriet Tubman name. The family not getting paid for it. How do you know that? Because they told you by record. Them same government records that I told you. Act of Congress. That was Sarah Bradford and her lawyer that are still getting paid. Yes, a lot of yes, that's true. Laylo Beauty, a lot of pictures that they showed you of Harriet Tubman were pictures of Sir Join the Truth. Yes, that's true. But I think they have since caught up to that because they made a mistake, that same mistake with Nat Turner. Remember when I first was on Nat Turner's case, when I was, investigating that before I fully debunked it, I was showing you then the red flags. I was showing you how they were showing you pictures of a young Frederick Douglass as pictures of Nat Turner when you were looking for him. And see, that's why they had to hurry up and come out with images of Nat Turner from a movie, from some new book. They had to hurry up and come up with something because we were already on it. And that's the reason why there's no more Nat Turner trail. And I showed you that in the book. Official record that they was about to put a Nat Turner trail out there in Southampton, Virginia. And I caught him. And I caught him right on time because I showed you the route. I went there and investigated what all of that shit was and what they were about to do. And they bought an old federal shotgun house, 2 of them, and they were trying to make it a museum. And it wasn't their house. Like they was trying to say it was the Rebecca house. It wasn't. They selected that. And I showed you how they did that by record as well, where they would select different abandoned sites and claim it as a historical marker or a historical site. Like the Smithsonian will grab a lot of, they did the same thing. The Smithsonian did a lot of our ancestors' lands and say, oh, no, that's ours. We're going to claim that as a historical landmark or a historical site and nobody can touch it. Like they did that shit on purpose. So we won't ever get, a chance to investigate that and keep that. But we got to fight for that. We got to fight for that. No, Nat Turner never existed. No, Nat Turner never. A lot of people going to claim that he did, but he did not. He did not. I showed you where the story came from. It came from the Richmond Whig. The Richmond Whig was the newspaper. I showed you the newspaper clipping. I went too far into that to let y'all know, yeah, that's something that they crafted. And then Thomas Ruffin Gray borrowed that and added the alias Turner on it. He told you that was an alias. He said it in his own paperwork in the Library of Congress records. Correction, not the Library of Congress records, the Act of Congress, because it was an Act of Congress. He was trying to go for copyright. He was trying to sell books. He was a gambler. He lost a lot of money and wanted to borrow that story from the Richmond Whig in order to make money. And I showed you how many times newspapers was getting on him about that. They were saying he was lying and blah, blah, blah. I showed you all of that. But Thomas Ruffin Gray created Nat Turner and Sarah Bradford created Harriet Tubman. And do you know they tried to say Sarah Bradford now is from here? When I showed y'all that she was from Geneva, Switzerland? When I showed y'all that she was from Geneva, Switzerland, they trying to flip it and say that Sarah Bradford is from here. It's from New York. And that's a lie. They trying to say she live in New York. That's a lie. She's from Geneva, Switzerland and lives in Switzerland. And she dead now. Like, but her estate still get money off of Harriet Tubman. Ain't nobody debunking that, bro. I got too many records on that. It's too late. It took me 5 years to debunk both of them. That wasn't no playing around. Oh, I'm trying to get some clout. No, I was not. I wasn't doing it at a time where Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner was popular. It only went viral the third time of me doing more research on it is because they was about to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. And that's why I went viral a third time. And it just so happened that I was already about to put out more information on Harriet Tubman because I was already working on it. And then they just so happened to say, oh, we about to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. I said, okay, perfect timing. Boom. And then it went viral. And more people woke up and started questioning her like, huh? And then them older people got mad like, dang, why you trying to take our heroes away? Heroes for what? Huh? She saved us? What'd she do? Did she fight for us on our side? Every time you hear about this lady, she done did something for them white folks. She done did something for them foreigners. Why is she celebrated? No matter which way you go. Oh, she fought in the Union. She was helping white people out. Nah, dang, you got to remember, she came back from Canada all the way to Maryland. How the hell she know that route? Talking about from Maryland to Canada, bruh. And she know that route? And she never been off that land? You know you lying. You know you lying. Not one time she been off that land, but she know how to go to Canada. Come on, bruh. She freed slaves. She held off the men with one shotgun. And you mean to tell me 2-3 white folks that's on a horse that all of them got shotguns can't take her ass out? She hiding in a tunnel. The only one that got a weapon is her? No, bruh. You trying to... Now, I know we got some sister warriors, don't get me wrong. But what you trying to say she did was impossible. That wouldn't have worked today. It definitely wouldn't have worked back then. All of y'all being quiet. Come on, shh. Come on, we about to get up out of here, y'all. Like they ain't had no dogs back then. Ain't nobody make a sound. One of y'all got caught. And she going underground. She know the route, but this her first time leaving. Off the plantation? Come on, bruh. But she know where to go. Some of y'all Christians gonna be like, God told her, Dane. Yeah, they said the same thing about Nat Turner. Don't forget that they said that Nat Turner got the call from God saying that he need to go kill all them white people. 70 or more, men, women, and children. And then they turned around and said that he sat in jail until his court date. You captured the nigga, let him sit in jail until his court date after he didn't kill all them white. What makes you think that makes sense in the South? We talking about the knee-deep Southampton, Virginia is knee-deep South. I'm talking about South with the F. It's nothing but land. What are you talking about? It's nothing but land. Ain't no street lights. Ain't no flashlight. Ain't no short walks. It's long walks. Bare feet. Grass to your knees. No, bruh. No. That's not to say that they didn't get the stories from somebody else, but they didn't get them from those people that they claiming that they are. Like I said, Thomas Redford Gray got it from the Richmond Whig, and I showed you that newspaper article. Can't nobody debunk that. Near scholar, near whatever, YouTuber, TikToker, teacher, professor. Nobody can debunk that. Nobody. I have official record. You can't, what? What you gonna say? Oh, you know his 5th time great grandson, nigga? Come on, bro. Yeah. And I'm related to Batman. Yeah, that's my 4th time great grandfather. I even got the keys to the Batmobile. And any time I can hit the button and I'm Batman. Come on, bro. You tripping. Yeah, that's the heroes they wanted you to believe. Look, but the rest of the heroes that were real, they made cartoons, didn't they? Marvel.